Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. Which state has been permitted by the Finance Ministry to borrow after it achieved ease of doing business reform? Again, you need not to remember the amount, but you need to understand what is this entire issue. So, Finance Ministry recently permitted Rajasthan government to borrow additional amount after the state achieved ease of doing business reforms. So the condition was that you implement these reforms, then you can borrow additional amount. This was the condition. So now Rajasthan has joined the 5 other states. These are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Telangana. So these 5 states were allowed to borrow more. Why they were allowed to do so? Because they implemented these ease of doing business reforms. Now what exactly is this ease of doing business reforms? In simplest term, it means you are implementing certain reforms in your state so that business can be done easily. Recently, Rajasthan was also in news as RBI decided to set up its automated banknote processing center. And this banknote processing center is to be set up in Rajasthan in Jaipur. Rajasthan was also in news as recently Prime Minister unveiled Statue of Peace in Rajasthan. State was also in news because of Indra Rasoi Yojana. The Monpa handmade paper, which was in news recently, is associated with which state? So it is associated to Arunachal Pradesh. Recently, it was in news because KVIC, that is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, decided to revive this Monpa handmade paper art. Actually, this is a paper which is made by the people in Arunachal Pradesh. It is a handmade paper. Now, because of the machine paper, this art was losing its features. So now, to revive this art form, KVIC decided to set up these plants. And these papers are made from a local tree, and the name of tree is important. It is Shugu Sheng. Now, KVIC is under MSME Ministry. KVIC is a statutory body. Jawahar region in Maharashtra is called as mini Mahabalishwar for the cultivation of which produce. So it is related to cultivation of strawberries. Recently, the farmers in the tribal areas of Jawahar region and in the Mokhada region of Maharashtra started cultivation of strawberries, and this led to more employment opportunities in the area. And because of this, the Jawahar region is being called as mini Mahabalishwar. Actually, Mahabalishwar is famous for the cultivation of strawberries. Now, even Jawahar region is cultivating these strawberries. That's why it is called mini Mahabalishwar. Recently, Maharashtra was also in news because of Lonar Lake, as this lake has been included in the list of wetland sites under Ramsar Convention. Now, in India, there are 42 sites. It is highest in South Asia. Recently, Sokar Lake complex was also included in this, and this is the latest addition. Ant Group, which was in news, is based in which country? So it is related to China. And recently, regulators in China asked this Ant Group to rectify its business practices. Now, this Ant Group owns the China's largest digital payment platform. The name of platform is Alipay, and it is related to Jack Ma. So this Alipay is owned by Jack Ma. Jack Ma is the prominent business personality in China. In fact, he is the founder of Alibaba Group. Recently, Alibaba Group was also in news because of its monopolistic policies. And recently, Chinese regulators put certain restrictions because of these monopolistic policies. What is meaning of this term, monopoly? It means if one entity is dominating the market. Mono means single. So if one entity is trying to dominate the market, then it is monopoly. Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor new section, which was in news, is funded by which organization? So it is being funded by World Bank. What is DFC? That is Dedicated Freight Corridor. That means it will be a specific route for freight only. Freight means luggage or goods. So it will be a separate corridor or separate track, railway track for goods. Right now we have passenger track, and both trains, that means freight trains as well as passenger trains, run on the same track. But after this DFC, this will be exclusively for freights. So recently EDFC was in news. Why it was in news? Because recently Prime Minister inaugurated new Khurja, New Bhapur section of EDFC. that is Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. Financial support is provided by World Bank. Apart from that, one Operational Control Center, that is OCC, was also inaugurated at Prayagraj, and it is in Uttar Pradesh. So we have two dedicated freight corridor as of now. One is Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor, another one is Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. Both meet at a point, and it is Dadri. So this Dadri is also situated in Uttar Pradesh. Which country announced to restrict promotion of unhealthy food from April 2022? So this was announced by UK government. So as a part of this plan, government is going to ban this buy one get one free promotions. That means if you buy one packet of unhealthy food, you will get another such packet. So these kind of promotions are being done by the companies to promote such unhealthy food. Now UK decided that it is going to ban such promotions for the foods which are high in fat or high in sugar or in salt. Why so? Because they are unhealthy food. UK was also in news as it is going to be the host of G7 summit this year. UK was also in news as recently it launched Innovation Challenge Fund. It was also in news because of its proposal to set up D10 group. So it is a grouping of 10 democracies to reduce dependency on China for 5G technologies. Next question is, which Indian tennis player has been given a singles wildcard entry for Australian Open 2021? So Sumit Nagal was given this wildcard entry for the Australian Open 2021. On the other hand, Andy Murray has received the wildcard entry to participate in this event. So this is going to be in Australia. Recently Australia was in news because of RAA, that is Reciprocal Access Agreement. So this is a defense cooperation agreement with Japan. Japan was in news as it decided it is going to be carbon neutral by 2050. Japan was also in news as it may join Five Eyes Alliance. So recently it was in news that Japan may join this Five Eyes Alliance. Now this is an intelligence sharing alliance and 5 countries are the members. These are UK, US, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. Next question is, which country has recently announced the discovery of 4 new oil and gas fields? So this was announced by Saudi Arabia. Capital of Saudi Arabia is Riyadh. Recently Saudi Arabia was in news because of G20. So in 2020 Saudi Arabia was the president of G20 group. In 2021 Italy is going to be the host of G20 summit. In 2022 Indonesia is going to be the host, and in 2023 India will host it. Next question is, which is the first private company in India to successfully design, develop and test full solid propulsion rocket stage? So this has been done by Skyroot Aerospace. It is a Hyderabad based company and it is the first private company in India to design, develop and test a full solid propulsion rocket stage, and it has been given the name Kalam 5. So this is named after our former president Dr. Kalam. So the company, that means this Skyroot Aerospace, is also working on Vikram 1. So it is launch vehicle. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover certain important events. So first is related to Bhutan. Recently Bhutan was also in news as it formalized ties with Israel. Bhutan was also in news as recently India signed Memorandum of Understanding with India to enhance the cooperation for outer space. For space activities, India and Bhutan are going to cooperate. One more thing, please try to cover these news events in a proper manner because most of the test questions are framed from these events. So try to revise these properly. Next is Global Pravasi Rista Portal. So this is a portal which has been launched by MEA, that is Ministry of External Affairs, to connect with Indian diaspora. What is Indian diaspora? It means those Indians who are living in other countries. Next is K. Veeramani. So K. Veeramani has been honored with Dr. Narendra Dabolkar Memorial Award. Next is Maybe Digital. So this is a campaign which will be launched by MOHUA, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and it will be launched for the street vendors to train them in receiving digital payments. Next is Arya Rajendran. So recently Arya Rajendran was in news as Arya Rajendran has been elected as the new mayor of Thiruvananthapuram. Thiruvananthapuram is in Kerala and Arya Rajendran became the India's youngest mayor. Next is Sunil Kothari. So Sunil Kothari was veteran dance historian. He passed away recently. Next is Unicash. So Unicash is world's first crypto bank. Recently, it was launched in India. And for this, there was a joint venture. And it is a joint venture between Kasha of UK and United Multi-State Credit Cooperative Society of India. So the world's first crypto-friendly, crypto stands for cryptocurrency. So world's first crypto-friendly branch was started in Jaipur and it is in Rajasthan. Next is Estonia, Paraguay and Dominican Republic. So recently India gave approval and now in these three countries India is going to open new Indian mission. Next is Sahayak NG. So recently DRDO along with Indian Navy successfully tested this Sahayak NG and it is India's first indigenous designed and developed air-dropped container and it was tested from IL-38SD. Now, few important things. First is, what is the meaning of this term indigenous? Indigenous means made in India. So we developed this and this is first indigenous air-dropped container. This has been done by DRDO. DRDO is under Defense Ministry. Next is AFSPA, that is Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958. Why it was in news? Because the entire state of Nagaland has been declared as disturbed area under this act. Next is Dhyan Foundation. So recently, Education Minister Ramesh Nishank laid the foundation stone of this Dhyan Foundation at IIT Hyderabad. Dhyan stands for Technology Innovation Hub on Autonomous Navigation Systems. So it is India's first, please remember this, it is India's first test bed for autonomous navigation systems. Next is a bill to abolish all state-run madrasas. So recently this bill was in news and it is related to Assam. So Assam government was in news as recently a bill was introduced in Assam to abolish all state-run madrasas and these will be converted in regular schools. Next is Mayiladuthurai. So this is the new district and this is in Tamil Nadu. This is going to be 38th district of Tamil Nadu. Next is solar power policy. So recently Gujarat government announced this solar power policy and it is a policy for next 5 years. The objective of this policy is to reduce the emphasis on conventional sources of energy and to focus more on the solar energy. And by focusing more on the solar energy, the idea is to reduce the cost of power of industrial units by almost 50%. Next is Nikita Khakimov. So recently she was in news as BWF, that is Badminton World Federation, has imposed a ban of 5 years on Nikita Khakimov and she is a Russian player. Since the ban has been imposed by Badminton World Federation, obviously the player is associated to badminton. Next is Digital Ocean. So recently this new initiative was launched by Dr. Harshvardhan and it is an initiative of Ministry of Earth Sciences. So this is a web-based application for the information of ocean. So it is a digital platform for ocean data management and it has been developed by INCOIS, that is Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services and it is also Hyderabad based. So this is a platform for the ocean related information. Next is knighthood in the UK. New Year's honors. So recently, Lewis Hamilton was in news as he has been awarded knighthood in the UK New Year's honors list. Next is IUC, that is Interconnect Usage Charges. So from 1st of January, Reliance Jio has announced that it will offer free voice calls to any network for domestic calls and it has removed these IUC, that is Interconnect Usage Charges. Next is digital registration of FASTags. So for the FASTags, ICICI Bank has collaborated with Google and it is the first bank to join hands with Google Pay for the issuance of FASTags. Please note that now FASTags are mandatory for 4-wheelers. Next is Pneumosil. So it is India's first indigenous pneumonia vaccine and it has been developed by SII, that is Serum Institute of India. Next is Dr. Hemant Kumar Pandey. So Dr. Pandey was in news as he has been conferred as the Scientist of Year award for 2018 and it was given by DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization. Why he was selected for this award? Because of leucoskin. So leucoskin is a herbal medicine and it is useful for the treatment of leukoderma and Dr. Hemant Kumar Pandey played a key role in the development of this medicine. So that was all. Now test. So first question is, which state cabinet has approved Dharam Swatantrata, that is Religious Freedom Bill? Next is, which municipal corporation has been selected as the best performing civic body in our country? Next is, which Indian organization is developing green propulsion technology? Next is, 100th Kisan Rail has been flagged off between Maharashtra and which other state? Next question is, India's first ever driverless train operations has been inaugurated in which metro rail service? Next question is, Shamsur Rahman Faruqi was associated with which field? Next is, as per the recent notification of Finance Ministry, what percentage of GST liability should be paid in cash? So this has been announced to prevent the frauds. Next is, which Indian state has won the Digital India Awards for innovative steps in e-governance during pandemic? Next question is, Indian Navy concluded the 2-day naval passage exercise PASEX in South China Sea with which country? And last question is, which cricketer has been named as the captain of ICC Men's T20 and ODI Teams of the Decade? So that was all for the day. Thank you.